like I said, I've been doing these Thoughtful Thursdays. Hey, Candace, thanks for joining. I've been doing these Thoughtful Thursdays to share about journaling. And so I always start with, what is journaling? Journaling is different than a diary. A diary is something you may or may not have done as a kid, where you kind of just share about your day. And that can be somewhat of a form of journaling, but more so you want to view journaling as an opportunity to reflect. And so not just not just sharing about your day, hey each, but sharing about you may share about your day that day, but you're gonna kind of look further into, what does it mean? What happened today, and what does it mean to me that happened? And I might be angry at somebody or irritable or whatever. And so I have to start asking myself questions in order to have a better understanding of myself. That reflection, AD, that reflection helps me to learn more about myself. It helps me to have a greater insight into who I am, why I do the things that I do, why I might feel stuck in different areas of my life, things that might be holding me back. Um, it might key into maybe even subtle things as to what do I think some of my strengths are, maybe what are my weaknesses. Um, and so there are different ways of journaling, and I'll probably start to get into that next week. So today I just wanted to have a little fun. Last week was a little heavy, but I made it. We made it together. So praise God. Um, so that doesn't mean I won't go back to difficult topics, because I think it's needed to have difficult conversations. And I want to be able to help you guys to be able to do that. So we probably will go back to difficult conversations, but I think this week I just wanted to have fun. Let's have a little breather, right? Because there's a lot of heavy stuff going on, right? You got COVID, you got quarantine, you got race relations. I mean, there's a lot of heavy stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been watching quite a few movies dealing with race and things like that. And so, you can't do that all the time, because you're going to get depressed, you're going to get mad. It's just not a good idea. So it's always good to balance things out. So this week is the Balance It Out week. So today I'll try to make it quick, but I would love for you guys to interact. So let me know if this is your first time joining in, or if let's see, how many weeks would it be? If you've come to all of them, or you've seen all of them, even if you didn't see them live. I started in May. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, this is my 6th week. 6 weeks. All right. So is this your first time tuning in, or is this your 6th time? You've been here, every week, 5th, or you've kind of joined in for a few. If y'all could just let me know. Just want a little engagement today. So I'm gonna take a bite of my sandwich while you guys answer, because I think there's a slight delay. I'm having my late lunch. I can't believe I've been doing this for 6 weeks. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. First time. Been here every week. Awesome. Love it. All right, Facebook, Instagram showing out now. I've seen most of them, but I don't think I've seen them all. Some will watch some replay. Awesome. Thanks, GK. Okay. All right. So, like I said, today's a fun week, but it still can kind of key into maybe some of your strengths, maybe some of your weaknesses. So, today's question is what. Hey, Dominica, this is my second time. I keep popping in and out on working from home. I understand. I still gotta check your stuff. I'm not ignoring you. I'm gonna try to do that today because I have a light day today. Yay! So thanks for tuning in. And like TK said, you can always go back and see the replay. And this one is actually going to be on YouTube. Hey, Takita, thanks for joining. How many have you seen, Takita? I've been asking people how many times they've been able to join in. So I'm going to try to get these up on YouTube as well as on my page, but you'll still be able to see them. So today we're going to talk a little bit about superheroes. So today's a fun week, but it's still a way to reflect and to learn more about yourself. So if you don't know anything about superheroes, kind of just go with what you think. Because I don't know everything. I love superheroes, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like an avid person. Like I don't go back and read, past stories and different side books and stuff like that, or comic books. I don't do that. My mom does that. My mom probably knows everything, and my husband. So I low key think my mom loves my husband more than she loves me, but I refuse to believe that because I'm her only child. But sometimes I feel that way. So it's okay if you don't really know a lot. You just kind of go with what you know. And you can always go back and kind of look more into it or ask a friend, like, hey, what do you know about this character? And do you think they make you think of me, or, just what you think about it? Just kind of go with it and see if you can get something out of it. This is not a deep one today. It might get deep for some people, or it may just be, that's pretty cool. I never, thought about that superhero before in that way. So the reflection question today is, what superhero would you be if you could choose? So usually you get the question, what superhero power would you want, right? People ask you, would you fly? Would you be able to be invisible? Would you be able to, what's another superhero power? Hear people's thoughts. I watched the movie What Men Want last night. That movie is hilarious. Okay, I've seen I think it's supposed to be a spinoff of the original with Mel Gibson, What Women Want. It's pretty funny. But I don't think I want that gift. No, I don't think I want to know what everybody's thinking. But that's a typical question that people ask: is what superhero power would you like to have if you could have one? And some people make up powers, like I wish money would just come to me and glued to me. That'd be great. But instead, I want you to think about the character as well as the power, or either or. But if you could be a superhero character, which one would you be and why? If you could be a superhero character, which one would you be and why? Let me make sure I can see all the comments here. Oh, I missed stuff. Hey, yay, we got YouTube. Yes, we got YouTube. Fellow Red. I'll probably put a link in here. Nice. Dominica already has her. Look at that. Some people already got their answers. Somebody said the Hulk from the last Avengers. Okay. Somebody said Spider-Man. I love that. So the second part is why. Why would you be that superhero? Okay, so I'll talk a little bit. But guys, please share if you feel comfortable. Like I said, this is a fun week. We normally talk about personal stuff. Last week was deep. And so you usually don't have to share. I used to want to be Firestarter. Ooh, I have to look that one up. Firestarter. Y'all know who Firestarter is? See, I don't know everybody now. I told you that's my mom and my husband. That's not me. I like that. That was creative. I don't think I've heard of that person. So yeah, please share who you would be and why, if you don't mind sharing. And if you don't want to say why, maybe what it is you like about that character, or how you see yourself in that character. Hancock. Ooh, that's a good one. I forget that he's considered a superhero. That's a good one. I like that. All right, so I'm just gonna talk a little bit. Like I said, it was gonna be long today, but I'll tell you a little bit of my process. So originally, I think I probably chose Storm. I love Storm. And I'll be honest, it's because she was a fabulous black woman. Okay? Gorgeous. And I love the fact that she was able to control the elements, the weather. She could make it rain, storm, hurricanes, all that kind of stuff. I just thought that was really cool. I love Storm. I loved, how beautiful she was. Hulk, he understood he was strong enough to tear up stuff, but he had the intelligence to know when to use it, but also create so many things. That's good. That's good, D. So if you haven't thought about that, what does that say about you? Those things that you like about the Hulk, right? And how do you see those things, maybe the good and the bad, in you? Jesus is helping me. Hey, Theresa, thanks for joining. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, started out with Storm, and it probably went to other people throughout. I love Captain America, but I could probably see some of myself in Captain America, but that'll kind of key into the people or the person that I really am leaning on right now. And so I've gone to one that I always kind of think is just a piece of who I am, and nobody seems to believe me. My husband and I both agree for both of us. Ironically, Dominica is the Hulk or She-Hulk, but really the Hulk. I haven't really looked into the She-Hulk and her story or whatever. But no one seems to believe me when I say I feel like him in some ways because he's always angry. But like you said, he knows when to let it out and when not to. He learned how to do that, and that's really part of my story. I really do have some underlying anger issues, and nobody seems to believe me about that. And I'm thankful for that. I don't think I'm no longer trying to prove that in any way, or make people um, force people to see that because I don't want you to see that. I've learned how to contain that and deal with that. I've learned how to use that and channel my anger in a different way, in a healthier way. So that's kind of like the inside. I'm kind of Bruce Banner Hulk, but I don't let the Hulk come out. I don't. I probably will at some point because now I'm a mom. Don't mess with my son. Okay. But also, don't mess with my husband. It's just not okay. And then bye. Thanks for joining in. And then don't mess with my family. And that's family and friends. Family is what we call it. My kids say I am Wonder Woman now because I care for and protect them and protect others from them. I can see that. I like that. Spider-Man has internal powers, not just money like Batman. I think he's more relatable. He's also a servant and helps even when doesn't feel like it. I can definitely see that, TK. Interesting. I like that. I like that. Thanks for sharing, guys. Keep sharing. Um, so where I'm leaning now is, and I'm having a hard time kind of choosing between the two. I guess there's some similarities, but for me, it would be Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel. I don't know if many of you guys know about Captain Marvel. She's been in she was in Endgame, but she also has her own movie. But those are the two that I'm leaning on. So I'll start with Wonder Woman, which keys into Captain America, which is interesting because Captain Marvel she's kind of portrayed like a female Captain America, but she's a little different. Wonder Woman and Captain America I see very much alike. They kind of have this naivety about them, but it's like this idealized world that they have, this view of the world of it doesn't make sense, why people are acting this way, why we have injustice and all this kind of thing. So let's just write it. Let's get people together. They kind of have this camaraderie, unity type mindset, but they're kind of naive, just a little bit naive about it. That everybody's going to be this way, and that's the goal. That's the hope. That's the prayer, but it may not be the case. So that's kind of me. Most people that know me, they have mentioned that about me, that I kind of have that mindset is kind of just like, why can't, all we need is love, guys. Just love. That's me. And I'm willing to fight for that. I really love, if y'all not following Robin, her Lunch with Robin page, she's doing this love movement. And that, I'm all about that. I'm all about the love movement. I used to have a group I had, Love It For It Every Day, which was life, but love it for it every day. It's kind of just the way I operate. I just see the good in everybody. And sometimes it gets me in trouble, for sure. It causes me to stay places longer than I should, or, do things that I didn't really have to do. But that's who I am. At the core, I really have a really good heart. I really love people, and I see the good in people. And I believe that we can all get to that place, but I'm also coming to a more realistic understanding that everyone's not going to do that. Because people are hurt, or, people just choose, like, I don't want to do that. And that's okay. It's not great. It's not okay, but you can be you. But Captain Marvel, what I like about her is the fact that she has so much power and potential that people didn't even know it. No one knew how powerful she actually was, and is, and she didn't even know. If you watch the original movie Captain Marvel, you'll see, what happened to her, and why she was the way she was, but her powers were subdued for quite a bit of time. And she was one of those characters where she was given the powers. She wasn't born this way. She was given the powers. And what she had, yes, I love Captain Marvel. What she had was powerful, but what was truly within her once the cap came off was phenomenal. I mean, she is amazingly powerful and strong. And I can see that a little bit about myself. I tend to keep a cap on me. And that cap for me, see, this is where it gets deep for me. It may not get deep for y'all. The cap for me is the not always feeling good enough. That's my cap that keeps me subdued in some ways. And it's not to say like I'm this great big old person, like I'm not trying to be Oprah or anything like that, but if I become Oprah, great. My own kind of Oprah, you know what I mean? Not her. But that's not something that's what I'm aiming for. It's not what I'm looking for. I don't think like I'm the best thing since sliced bread, obviously, if I'm dealing with not feeling good enough. Um, but I think there's something in me, like it was with Captain Marvel, that knows there is more to me that's not being accessed, that's not being utilized, that's being capped in some way. And so I can relate to Captain Marvel that way. I love her. And I also love Wonder Woman. I let him smash things. Lord have mercy. So you got that mixture of nice. So you got that mixture of those different characters that say something about me. And so hopefully maybe just with some of those um, some of that little information about those. Somebody mentioned Spider-Man, so he was given powers. He was bitten by a spider, and now he can, throw a web and fly through the sky by, attaching the web and swinging from it. He also has somewhat of a super strength. Batman, his thing is money. He doesn't have superpowers, but he has enough money to build the suits and the cars and the gadgets that he can get things done to fight crime. I like Batman too. Superman was born that way. He was born with powers. He came from another planet. He's alien, and he can fly and can shoot lasers out of his eyes and burn things. He's super strong. And we talked about the Hulk, who can smash things. He can kind of fly in a way. He kind of can jump really far. I love that about the Hulk. That's so cool. Talked about Captain America. He was made that way. He's just got super strength. And he's Captain America. I love him, just because he's so positive, and he's kind of like that all you need is love type person. We talked about Wonder Woman. She was born that way. She's got that super strength. She's kind of Cap too. Hey there, thanks for joining. We talked about Captain Marvel. She was made that way. She was made that way. She wasn't born that way. She got those powers. And she's got those superpowers. We've got Iron Man. I like Iron Man too. He too is like Batman. He does have a little bit of extra power because of what he has in his heart. He was um, damaged in some way. Some shrapnel or something got to his heart, and so he was able to have this technology. I think he built it beforehand or something. I can't remember. To keep it, and it keeps him alive. So it gives him the ability to be alive, and I think it gives him some strength. But a lot of what he does is he builds gadgets and his suit and everything. I love it. So those are just some characters. So y'all can look those up. So today we talked about what superhero character would you be and why, and what does that say about you? What does it say about your strengths, your weaknesses, and what can you learn about yourself just by answering that simple, fun question? So I hope you guys like that. Think about that if you haven't before. Feel free to come back and share later. This will be up on my Facebook page later today, and it'll be up on YouTube this time. And it's also on Instagram and my personal Facebook. So thank you guys for joining in this week. And we'll talk more about some journaling reflection questions next week. So thank you for reflecting with me. And I pray that all of you guys have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next Thursday. Ta ta for now. And share.